How's it going, Lions fans, and welcome to the video. Today we're going to talk about a few things that have been on my mind coming after that loss to the Seattle Seahawks at home. There's been a few things that have just been kind of, going through my head about what happened and just kind of looking at, like not only what happened, but just what's going to happen from here on out. I know a lot of people, most people are, still confident in this team, but there are some Lions fans out there that are asking questions. Is this team legit? Did we just get lucky in that Chiefs game with Chris Jones and Travis Kelce being out? So I'm going to answer a lot of your guys' questions and kind of just hopefully make you guys feel a little bit better about that loss, because there is a lot of good that came out of that game, but mostly bad, obviously. I mean, you lose and it's not good. So we're also going to take a look at the injury report. I'm going to update you guys on that. We're going to start with Vaitai. I don't even know how to say his first name, so I'm not even going to try. But looking at Vaitai, a guy who, we need healthy. We need that O-line healthy. And so looking at, a report, this is on Lions Forum, I think, or Lions Report online. Vaitai left the game with a knee injury after getting rolled up from behind while engaging in a run. And it took Vaitai quite a while to leave the field. It did not look good. I watched it live. Dan Campbell kind of said, Big V could be out for a bit. We'll know a lot more in the next couple days here. And it sounds like Campbell also downplayed the fact that he could be on IR. It sounds like Dan Campbell said, I don't think so. And they don't want to put him on IR. So now we have James Houston, and I don't know what the hell was going on in this game. I don't know if we're just that soft or something's going on, but I don't know how we dealt with so many injuries. I mean, there was just so many people going down. It was insane. Houston, the news here is widely reported. It's very tough to hear. He had a broken fibula, so he was going to be out for a while. That's what Dan Campbell said, and he left the stadium in a wheelchair and expected to miss at least 6 weeks. And yeah, Charles Harris, Romeo Okwara, who, we're already in rotation. They need to step up big time in these next few weeks with Houston out. Houston was probably our second best pass rusher, and we need, he had a huge year last year. We need those two guys to step up, and we need Houston to come back healthy, hopefully in 6 to 8 weeks or so. When David Montgomery went out, I started to get really worried because he's one of the most important guys in our team. So when I saw him go down, that really kind of started to worry me. David Montgomery left the game after a hit to the leg. The initial fear was that Montgomery suffered a knee injury, and the visual of him leaving the field on cart did not breed optimism. So obviously that's what we saw. We were all kind of worried, and it ended up being just a thigh bruise. Dan Campbell kind of said he's kind of in the day-to-day, which is really good news. And then after the game, Montgomery told reporters it was just a thigh bruise. Take a couple of weeks to heal, which doesn't mean he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, but I suspect him to at least miss a game or two. And now we have Taylor Decker, who was not able to play this weekend. A lot of people thought he might be able to, but our O-line ended up holding up decently well. It wasn't as good as the week before, but Jared Goff, still plenty of time. Taylor Decker missed the Seahawks game after suffering an ankle injury in week 1. Starting left tackle was able to finish the game against the Chiefs, but did not practice at all during this week. I do expect him to be back next week against the Falcons. He's improving there again. We'll know a lot more over the next couple days. He's gotten better and better every day. It's just a matter of, can he be back in time for this one? Like I said with the Vaitai, it's very important to have the healthy offensive line. You see what we can do with a healthy offensive line. We easily have probably a top 3 O-line in the league. Emmanuel Mosley, still no update really. I haven't seen anything about him in his return. Still optimistic for him to return. Maybe not this week, but the week after against Green Bay. Amon-Ra St. Brown is fine. Sounds like he's going to be all right. I believe he's practicing, and he should be just all right. And same thing goes for Aiden Hutchinson. Amon-Ra dealing with cramps. I forget what happened to Hutch. I think it was his shoulder, but he is just fine and will be all right. So I know a lot of you are probably wondering what good came out of this week. I'm going to explain that in just a second. First, I kind of want to talk about my frustration of, what the biggest reason was why we lost this game. Obviously, I like to point towards the refs a lot, even though, at the same time, I don't like pointing towards the refs, but at the same time, referees control the game. It's just a fact. You make the wrong call, that's huge, And when the refs are missing holding penalties multiple times, it's going to control the game. And that's what happened. Referees didn't make the right calls. Aiden Hutchinson was held at least 5 times. I watched. It was bad. But the referees, can't just blame them, because we also set ourselves up to be in that situation. But still, I thought the refs were bad, and that was definitely a factor. But looking at just that last drive, I don't know what we were doing. Dan Campbell, this is my thing with it, all right? You want to be aggressive the whole game. You're going to go for it on 4th down, go 1 for 3 on 4th down, which is stupid. Take your points when you can get them, especially against a Seattle team, and we wouldn't have had to worry about losing. But on that second to last drive when we scored that touchdown to Josh Reynolds, if you would have looked at the time when we had, I think it was 7 minutes when we had the ball, we waited until 3 minutes to score. I mean, they were just in no hurry. And then we get the ball with a minute and like 50 seconds left after Khalif Raymond punt return. And then what do? We just let the clock go. We don't even try to score a touchdown. And again, I said this in my previous video. I'm okay with going for a tie. I really don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is that you're aggressive the whole game, and then when it comes down to the final minutes, you're just going to play passive, and you're going to, when you have the ball at the 50-yard line with a minute 50 left or whatever it was, and then you're just going to decide not to try and push for a touchdown. And again, I'm fine with going for the tie, but I would really only prefer to do so if, let's say there's 30 seconds left, you've got one timeout, you're at the 20, 30-yard line, and you're trying not to leave, too much time left for Geno Smith in that offense. I get that. We had 3 timeouts going into that, and we still decided not to try and go for a touchdown. I just don't get it. I thought we should at least push for one, but again, I'm fine with going for the tie, but we still got to try and make a play. So some other positives I want to point out. First of all, the NFC North went 0-4 this week. The Packers are listed at first, but really we're basically tied with them. They just had that divisional win over the Bears. This Week 4 game against them is going to be huge. We win that 100% makes up for this loss. 100%. I mean, easily. Because that's a divisional game, and they're our only threat in the division. The Bears, they look like shit. They do not look good at all. Fields does not look good. Bears are 0-2. I don't think we're going to need to worry about them. The Vikings, they're 0-2 now, and their offense is good, but their defense is really bad. I really don't think that they're much of a threat either. So, and like I said before, there are some positives to take away from this game, and I'm going to point to a couple of them. First of all, Sam Laporta. He looked great. He looked like the best rookie that we had this week. I forget how many catches, if it was 7 or 8 or something like that, but the dude was going nuts. He has the 3rd most receiving yards out of all tight ends in the NFL. All tight ends. He actually has more than Hawkinson as well. So that is awesome. I love seeing that for Sam Laporta, for him to already be doing that within the first 2 weeks. It shows that he's going to be a top 5 tight end someday. Other positives is that we had 3 turnovers that game, and the Seahawks had 0. And yet we still found a way to force overtime. Imagine what we could do in our defense, is in full effect. We'll get that chemistry back. Aaron Glenn, make some better decisions. And imagine when we start forcing 1 or 2 turnovers a game, and our offense, doesn't fumble the ball opening the second half, and Jared Goff doesn't throw, pick 6. Imagine how much easier we could have won that game if let's say we had 1 turnover. We probably would have won by 14. Seahawks had 14 points off of our turnovers. We didn't force any. We still nearly won that game. It came down to a coin flip. And again, that's another thing I like to blame is the stupid overtime rules, man. Needs to be fixed, Roger Goodell. I don't know what you're doing, but overtime rules are horrible. Need to see a change there. It should not be determined by coin flip. I don't care what you say about, we'll just have your defense perform. Guess what? Any offense can score against any defense. It's just how the NFL works. You have to give each team an equal chance. It's just not equal. It's not at all. So, other than that, positives, like I said, even though we lost the turnover battle badly, we had 3 of them. We had 3, they had 0. We still were in that game. And besides that, man, there wasn't a ton to take away. Jared Goff looked great. No one on defense stepped up. I think Alex Anzalone was our best defensive player. Other than that, no one made a play on defense, which was just embarrassing. Offensively, Josh Reynolds, man, he is the unsung hero of this offense. He looked amazing. Amon-Ra was good. Khalif Raymond was pretty good as well. I like to see Antoine Green playing as well, but he ended up going out with a concussion. We'll see how he is. And then Jahmyr Gibbs. I didn't really love his game. I thought that, he struggled a lot, but he ended up having a couple big plays, and we're going to see even more from him with Montgomery out. So hopefully he gets a ton more reps and stuff like that. So overall, just an embarrassing and disappointing loss, but we're going to bounce back this week against the Falcons, and then in Green Bay, if we can win that game, be 3-1, 100% makes up for this loss. I think most of us expected to be 1-1 to start the year anyway, so we'll see what happens. But hopefully this video made you feel a little bit better. Let me know what you think, and what you thought of the game as well, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.